Hello, welcome to another episode of AG Engineering. For those that have got this far, thank you for subscribing and liking, and hope you've enjoyed the things that have been going on. We've got something a little bit different again today. I've got here a pair of DBD 34 Goldstar crankcases. For those in the know on classic bikes, this is the one to have. Very coveted, very treasured machine, or at some point in the future this will be. There's our engine number somewhere there. Yeah, so proper DBD 34. All very good except for a few problems. The normal area here for wear is the magdyno seat. The magdyno is held on by a strap, and if it's ever left loose it rattles about and wears this surface down and wears indentations into the little grooves that are supposed to locate it. See that on there? Old-fashioned design. Why on earth they didn't think of putting a bolt on flange or some slotted adjuster or something, I don't know, but it was to move it about, I think, to do the chain and things like that, because the magdyno pinion is sitting there, and no, it's a direct drive, it's a gear drive, isn't it? That's right, I'm trying to think back. So whatever, it's worn, it needs building up and remachining. And in addition to that bit, we've got some damage under there on one of the bolts. That's on the bolt that holds the strap, or the pin that holds the strap, that comes round, I believe. And another piece missing there to build up. What else have we got? Nothing, that's about it, so not too much. So we're going to try a bit of aluminium welding today. Anybody who's ever done aluminium welding, especially on cases like this, old cases, will know the first rule and the second rule and every rule after that is cleanliness. So one of the first things I've got to do is attack it with a die grinder and chop out the contaminated surfaces, any damaged bits. Then I clean with acetone, not brake cleaner, because brake cleaner causes you all sorts of problems, I believe, if it's the chlorinated type. Now we get it warmed up and see if that boils any more oil out of it. Clean it again and weld, and then probably have to cut it back and weld again. And so it'll take a few goes to get a nice bit of weld built up on there, and then I've got to remachine. This one's not so bad, it'll just be drilled back through and fettle that to shape, and the same up there. This one at the top, the magdyno seat, I'll have to look at setting up on the mill and getting that angle correct and remachining that surface flat. So I'll get set up for a bit of grinding. So catch up in a moment. We'll do one half at a time. I'll set up and have a go at welding this one first. I'm just going to get a bit of preheat onto this and just see if anything bubbles out of it. I don't think it will, because it's quite dry. It's quite an old engine this is, so it's been sitting around for a while. But we'll do it anyway. No doubt once I get the welding torch near it, there'll be some bits come out of it. So I expect to see some blacking around the weld. Now, good wire brushing with a stainless wire brush. And you're supposed to keep a separate clean wire brush just for aluminium as well. Don't do it with steel. Just a quick shot of the setup here. Obviously on AC TIG my balance is slightly towards the cleaning to allow for the dirty casting. I'm on 2T because I'm using the foot pedal. I've got the current set up to about 145 amps to peak out at. Obviously I've got, as I say, I've got foot pedal control. I've swapped torches to the larger torch, and because of the heat involved in a higher amperage, I normally use a 9 size torch, but for aluminium I've swapped to the 26 torch. The welder, as you can see, is an AC/DC TIG 161. It's an RTEC unit, but it's so far proved very good. I've also got an RTEC plasma, and quite impressed with them. So let's see how it does on this crankcase. I'm using 4043 rods as well on this. Right, whether you can hear me or not, I'm not sure over the noise of the welder. I've had to have a revisit at this. I was trying to weld that up without putting some kind of backing in there, so I've made a little stainless steel plug so that I can build up the aluminium across it. I've also got it mounted. It might seem a bit of a funny view. I'm at about sort of 45 degrees or something, with it clamped to the welding table, so that I can sit comfortably and support my my torch. So we'll have another go here. I've changed around yet again here. I've gone flat again with the table. I've changed the electrode as well from the small one I was using to a 3.2mm with a gas lens on. I wasn't able to get enough heat into the job with it as it was, so we'll see how we go on with this. It's another bit of a clean up. I've got it roughly bolted to the table. It is quite awkward to hold this crankcase half, so see how we go on. That's just about enough on. Well, there's a big blob there, but I am sort of struggling with this bigger, heavier cable torch, and trying to work in a small space with a big electrode. So before I put this piece back on, I'm going to let it cool. I'm going to sort that bit out while I can get into it. Yeah, there's quite a bit to come off there, so I'll come back to it in a little while when it's cooled down. Well, I'm just filming freehand here, so hopefully it's in the picture. There's it after a little bit of fettling. It's not turned out too bad. It needs a little bit more dressing up yet, but it's filled the hole, and we've got somewhere for the bolt to go through. This is sort of in between the two castings, so, and underneath the magneto you'd have to really get your head round inside. In fact, I think with the primary side on you wouldn't even see it, so it's more a physical sort of repair than a cosmetic one. So I'll move on to I'll dress up this bit next. I've got some weld on there, and we'll get to dressing that one up now. What I will do is, for that face, I'll stick it in the milling machine and clean it up. This rounded area. I've only got what are called double cut burrs. Which, as you can see, if I get that close enough, clogs quite easily. So what I'm having to do is just pick the bits of aluminium out now and again with a scribe, and then go again with it, try and keep it clear. Once it gets clogged, it completely stops cutting. Simple setup here on the Goldstar crankcase half that I've built the weld up on. I've already worked around there, fettled that up a little bit. Sorry, excuse me. I'm just going to take that off till it's just flush with the original material. Take that down so far. Lock the quilt. And then I'll bring the bed up to the height I need. all I'm going to do is manually work the table until I've cleaned up the area. Just kissing the original aluminium there. That'll do. I'll just finish the last little bit by hand. Get a closer shot of it there. I'm repositioned yet again. I've got a small piece of stainless backing plate there, clamped onto the casting with a pair of vice grips, and another clamp holding the small broken off piece here in position. I've cleaned up as best I can in there. There's quite a bit of metal to build back up across the whole area down here in these cutouts there and around here, so I'll try and get a little tack on there. This is very thin on this edge, it's sort of chamfered away at the back, so we'll see how we go. Okay, I think I'm ready now. It's much easier on the flat. There's some crap coming out of it, but it is easier. Okay, we'll try and resume. I'll clean the tungsten up again, and the pot's had a little while just to dissipate a little bit of heat, so here we go again. all you can kind of do is keep going over it until you've got all the junk out of there. There we are on the other side. It's not turned out too badly actually. There's a little bit of a valley to fill there and a little bit round this edge. So I'll do that off camera because I can't get the camera in close enough to work round, and I'll come back when I've got it. I'll put a backing plate under there again just to support everything, just in the same way as I did before. There we are, wire brushed up a little bit. I'm fairly sure there's about enough on there to dress that up. I can't quite get right into there, but we'll see how we go when we get to clean it up.